We're covering Hermes, but wait a minute.
Yeah,
it's not
I
this
think it's the
Hermes.
wrong one.
Please turn the slide. Yeah, it's this Hermes. Hermes, messenger of Olympus, Greek god stuff, not that luxury man. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to cover the things we're going to speak about today. First of all, who is Hermes? Second, Hermes symbols, and some tales about Hermes, his origin and stuff, and some fun facts, and one extra story. And at last, there's personal response and credits, of course. Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna take over for the first part. Alright, so who is Hermes? Alright, he is one of the 12 Olympian gods, and he is also granted the role as the herald of the gods, basically the messenger, the one who sends messages. Besides that roles, he also has several other roles like the protector of merchant, in which it's called gods of trades, and also gods of thieves and sports and athletics, and also orators. Alongside that, he also has another role called the psychopomp, in which he is the guider of souls to the underworld, because he can travel between the many realms, the God's realm, the mortal realms, and the underworld. Here are some of the symbols associated with Hermes. First of all, probably the more famous one is the winged sandals called Talaria. This one right here is a staff with two serpents and wings on top. We call this the caduceus. This is a pouch of money because he's the god of merchant. This is his helmet, Pegasus. This is a tortoise. You know why later. This is a rooster. And this is what we call a herma, which is just a statue with Hermes' head on top and a block of stone under, and sometimes a male genital. Okay. Alright, let's talk about his story. So, childhood. He was born to Zeus and Maya, the eldest of the Pleiades, in a cave on the mountain Sidene at dawn. Okay, and since his birth, he has been quite a trickster, and so immediately after birth, he just promptly left the cave without anybody noticing. And then he proceeded to steal all of Apollo's sacred cattle in Pirasanti for whatever reason, and that whatever reason is to drill two of them to eat and then sacrifice some, and then he just burnt the rest alive. And he was very clever, so to hide his actions, he actually reversed the hooves of the cattle in order to fake the trails, and also he tied branches to the tail of the cattle. And then on his way, he invented the lyre using the shell of a tortoise and the guts from some of the cows he killed before. The lyre is an instrument, a string instrument. It looks somewhat like this. Now, obviously, having all of his cattle slaughtered for whatever reason, Apollo was really furious. So he asked Zeus to find out whoever did that, and Zeus reached out to Helios, the sun god, to find the culprit, and the culprit was Hermes. And so Apollo, Zeus, and Maya, Hermes' mother, they went to confront the little guy. It's a meme. I guess it kind of represents the situation here. Yeah. So basically, Hermes uses the excuse of being a little baby boy to say that he's innocent. Now, somehow, Apollo accepted a gift from Hermes, which is the lyre that he made before, the instrument. He accepted that, and not only that, he also rewarded Hermes with the caduceus, the staff that I just showed you before, with the serpents and wings. Now, moving on, we're gonna have some fun facts about Hermes.
Okay, fun facts. First of all, Hermes is the only god who can access to all three realms, which means he has an all-access card in his hand. He can move freely between the heaven, the earth, and the underworld. And second, if you just listen to the story of Hermes' origin carefully enough, you will find that he's not only born a trickster, but also born an inventor. He immediately invented three things just after his birth: the lyre, sandals, and the practice of grilled meat as an offering, and also among these, barbecue. Okay, fun fact 3. Outside the well-known roles, Hermes is also, he's a kind of jack-of-all-trade god. He's a god of gym and athletic, especially wrestling and football races. And he is also the god of sleep, since he can move into people's dreams. He's also the god of gamblers, and he even invented the knuckle bones, which is known as dices now. Alright? Then there'll be an interesting extra story about Hermes. So basically, just like any random Greek mythology, Zeus has crushed into some random mortal woman. This time, her name is Io, and provoking the wrath of his wife Hera. So Zeus just turned his lover into a cow. But however, Hera immediately claimed the cow as a gift because she found out. And she even hired the one scary guy called Argus Panoptes, a giant with 100 unblinking eyes to guard Io. So Zeus, of course, wants to rescue his girlfriend, so he sent Hermes to the rescue. Realizing that he couldn't pass a guard who basically have 360 degrees eyesight of vision, so Hermes disguised himself and told an incredibly long, tedious story, using aggressive tedious as his weapon. It's like an ancient equivalent of a useless 5-hour meeting. So the boredom was lethal. Argus tried to fight it, but at last he got tired and all his eyes just closed, like the evil hour, So Hermes killed the giant and sent Io to free. Everyone is happy, I guess, except Hera. That's the story part. Now we come to the final part, personal responses. I'll start first. So I think gods are created by human or by people. So why are the people in ancient Greece that are going to create such a god like Hermes? First of all, they have a need for speed and communication, so they created the god Hermes. Second, the Hermes, they're used to define boundaries and territories. And at last, it's a mirror of the rising of a mercantile society.
Okay, moving on to my personal response. Now, before doing this project, I had zero knowledge of Greek mythology. Now, I still kind of do, but at least I know something about Hermes. So, while researching, I found the story of Hermes really interesting, especially the story right after his birth. It's kind of silly, but intriguing. Now, another thing that I think makes him interesting is the fact that he had multiple roles, kind of like a jack of all trades. He's the god of, he's the messenger of the gods, and then he's also the god of sleep, the god of sports, god of thieves, and then the cyclopan, etc. And I really love how he just casually killed a gigantic monster by just telling a super boring story. Alright, moving on to the suggestion.
Okay, so before doing this, I actually have some knowledge of Greek mythology, and what I noticed is Hermes is a god who's closest to the everyday life of mortal people. Like he's a god of merchants, he's a god of running. We have to run and walk every day, right? He's a god of sports, and also underneath he's also the god of speech and language, because he's the god of merchants, right? For merchants, what do they use to sell? They use language, right? And he is also very cunning and clever, which is what I love about him. He's the trickster. He stole all of Paul's cattle. He is very persuasive, hence being the god of merchants. Merchants need to persuade each other to buy things, so also language is something we use every day. And what I like most is that he's also very inventive and creative. He invented the lair, the sandals, and the grilling meat as an offering on the first day, as young group has said. So I like those. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say that before this group project, I really had absolutely zero knowledge on Greek mythology. But after doing all these kinds of research on Hermes, I can confidently say that he is my #1 favorite Greek mythological character. And that's because, he really is lacking in physical strength. if he were to go in a brute force fight with other Greek gods, he'd probably lose. But what he lacks in strength, he really makes up for in his intelligence, and that's what I really. That's what I really love about him. I really love characters who, even though they lack in certain traits, they're able to utilize their powers really creatively in a really out of the box way, you know. And the second. And the second reason is also because of his kind of cunning communication style. It's almost provoking and teasing in a kind of way. I don't know if you know this, but do you know the meme of like the monkey and the tiger? The tiger is yelling and the monkey is just like. Yeah, that's kind of like how most of his confrontations with other Greek gods went. And that combined with his really charming attitude, his character, and yeah, just overall his personality. I think that's what really makes me like him so much.
Okay, so this is my personal response. I'm Catherine, and I will wrap this up also. So he's one of my favorite male god. I like other female gods as well because most of the other gods they seem like a bit stern, like very powerful, and a bit too out of reach. So Hermes, I think that he's a bit more playful, and I can actually think that this guy I can befriend him. And I also like the fact that even though he's so young compared to other gods, he's really powerful, and he has this ability to go through 3 realms. So that's make him very powerful and amongst one of the 12 Olympians. And maybe because of his ability to travel so much, which is why it's in his nature, his personality. When he's just bored, he immediately wants to go on this adventure. And I also have the same personality. This is our credits and our sources here, the links, Wikipedia, AR source, and that's it for today, our presentation. Thank you for listening.